Hello, welcome to Kimberly Ann Crafts. Today's project is a hardback recycled scraps art journal. This video is a video response to Baroness NZ's video tutorial series on how to make a hardback book, which inspired me to make my own. I've modified some sections and I'm going to go through what I did differently. Main difference is that inside all pages are made from paper scraps, so I'd start with something that's fairly, good scrappy texture. It's got lots of layers already, and I don't mind if I mess things up because I can just paint over it or go on to the next page. What's also good about this is you can get these little window pockets, which I'm going to incorporate into my designs hopefully, if I get that far. I'll go through the differences. Gather all your scrap bits of paper, card, magazines, newspapers, and even envelopes with clear sections and security markings. PVA glue mixed with water in a jar. You can use scrap bits of card to apply the glue. Use a big bit of cardboard to protect your surface, and you can even draw a template on this to make sure all your pages look the same. Remember, your book is going to be half the size, so if you want an A4 book, use A3 size template. Now when you're gluing all your bits and pieces together, remember you're going to have to let it dry overnight. Pieces will dry crinkly, but that's part of the texture and the charm. But you can reduce the amount of crinkles by using a less watery glue mixture or even a glue stick. But if it's wrinkly when you start the process drying, it'll be wrinkly when it's finished drying. For your sheets, all you have to do is just glue bits of scrap papers together. Make sure the joins in the centre are always strong if you're joining two pieces together. I actually ironed my sheets after they dried. It doesn't reduce the crinkles, but it just makes them flatter when you put them together. I also ironed the creases. Now you put your pieces together in magazines and trim them together. You then sew them together with embroidery thread or whatever you've got on hand. Now follow Baroness NZ's video. I'm using a strip of cardboard for my template and a piece of calico for my fabric. This is all fully recycled. Now I fully recommend watching Baroness NZ's video for all the instructions on this because it's very clear and very simple. When you pierce the holes, I found it easiest to use a pearl-headed pin. It just stops the pin going into your fingers. Take your time punching the holes because it makes it so much easier when it comes to the sewing stage. Instead of using a normal glue, I used a hot glue gun and actually pressed it with my fingers, obviously when it's not too hot. This leaves a very good coating and it's worked so far, and it stops you from having to leave it overnight. For the final strip of fabric, I used another strip of calico. And for my board, I just cut up an old folder that I wasn't using and had seen better days. I also put complimentary end tabs in the ends, if you can see there. And they're actually just scrapbookers sticky back ribbon over some packaging card, and the ends that were white are coloured in the felt tips. The insides, if you can see, I've actually used scrapbook paper, but it would be very easy to use wrapping paper or pages cut out of magazines or whatever you want in there. It didn't quite reach the full length, so I've got this other sort of contrasting card here, which is beautiful texture. It's lovely. The outside is a wallpaper sample. I had loads of these floating around because I'm doing an interior design course, and it's perfect because when you put the glue on it, it doesn't warp at all, so you've got this beautiful smooth outside of your book. So here's my book. I want to say thank you to Baroness NZ for such a wonderful tutorial series, and I recommend everybody to go and check it out, see how easy it is to create this book. And there you have it. Here's some examples of pages I've made in my scrapbook, and you can really see how the textures of the scraps really come out in your artwork.